Hello, welcome back to Jimmy's Toys. I'm Jimmy. Today we're going to talk about the Nintendo Switch. According to the VGCharts.com, the Nintendo Switch has now outsold the PlayStation 1. There's the article here on the screen. According to their estimates, the Switch has now sold almost 103 million units, which will pass the PlayStation. Right there, it has those specifics: 102.81 million units for the Switch and 102.5 million for the PlayStation 1. And so it's pretty fantastic. Now, this isn't Nintendo's best-selling console yet. I guess it theoretically could be, depending on how long this life cycle lasts and the games they keep producing. I think there's going to be a lot of good games this year. I don't know how many more years this series will go until they come out with whatever they want to call it. I think they were smart. They would do something like a Super Switch or Switch Pro, whatever you want to call it. I mean, just going back to the old days, you had the Nintendo and then you had the Super Nintendo. I think that would be the way to go, but whatever. Nintendo does weird things. Wii and Wii U were terrible names. If it was Super Wii or Wii Plus or Wii whatever, I think that would have been way better for the Wii U. I think a lot of people honestly thought that the Wii U wasn't a peripheral device and not an actual new console. I think there was a lot of terrible marketing there. It's a good system. I still play mine occasionally. I bought 3 games so far this year in 2022 on there on the eShop. I picked up the old Metroid Zero Mission, Metroid Fusion from the Game Boy Advance on there. And also just a few days ago, I went ahead and purchased the Metroid Prime Trilogy. Now, I don't like that on there, honestly, because of the motion controls. And there's not really a way to get around that, I don't think. So I don't know that I will play it much. I played it a couple times and it works. I just wasn't happy with the motion controls. But anyway, that was the Wii for you. So anyway, here in this particular article, we see the current estimates of number of things sold. So 102.8 million units. So if we go over to the Wikipedia article here, listed the best-selling game consoles ever, we'll see the other numbers that are estimated out there in the world. And so on this one, it hasn't been updated for a while. I'm not sure when it will be updated. It has a Nintendo Switch from months ago at this point, probably middle of last year, who knows. November 4th, 2021, so quite a while ago. It only had 92.87 million units sold at that time. So at this point, it has surpassed the Wii and the PlayStation. So it would move up into 5th place all time. It is within striking distance of the PlayStation 4 and the Game Boy. Now, the Game Boy one is kind of amazing that it's so close to that. The Game Boy Color was around for so long, 11 years? But then the really interesting one to me, honestly, is that the DS is the second best-selling console ever, and it was super close to being the best-selling console series ever, which is kind of just crazy. I don't know. That's just really interesting. Now, granted, they came out with a million different options with the DS, DS Lite, 3DS, 2DS, tons of different options there for a really long time. That system was supported pretty regularly for 15 years or so, and I guess technically someone still might be out there. Right now, the eShop's still open on it, so I don't know. I don't play my 3DS much. Every once in a while I'll pull it out. I have quite a few games for it. I like it, but I don't know. It's just interesting to me that the second and third best-selling consoles ever, or the family of consoles, are the Nintendo DS and the Game Boy series. So yeah, I definitely think with things going well right now, that I think it's pretty possible within the next year, maybe a little more, that it could be the third best-selling console ever, and we'll see how it goes from there. I don't know, maybe it'll take longer than that, but I think that's, at this point, I think that's where it should probably wind up. I don't know that it's going to hit those big numbers of 150-something million. This thing would have to go on for a long time and have to continue pumping out some bangers. I don't know, Mario Odyssey 2, or Mario Kart, whatever they want to call it, since there's been a couple other spin-off type games. I really think it'd be like Mario Kart 11, technically, because there's the mobile game and then the home circuit game came out since 8 and 8 Deluxe. Who knows? But it's just interesting, especially if you look back at when this was first announced, this hybrid console, that it wasn't really, it was kind of panned, I think, because of the Wii U's failure. People were assuming this would fail, but I mean, clearly it has been very, very successful, and look forward to see where this all ends up. I'm definitely a big fan of the Switch. I think I'm closing in on it being the system I have the most games for console-wise. My computer games, I have way more computer games, especially with Amazon and Epic and all these people giving away games every month or few weeks or whatever the thing is. Like, I don't even know how many games I have on there. I probably have a few hundred games on both of those platforms alone. But anyway, yes, I love my Nintendo Switch. It's been my primary console since I got it a little over 3 years ago, 3 years and a couple months ago. And I've thoroughly enjoyed the portability, the handheld play, making it, transition to the TV. If you're interested in any of my thoughts about other consoles, you might want to check out my recent video about the Xbox One X.